Have you ever had difficulty learning vocabulary? You try to study very hard, but because of the wrong way to learn vocabulary, you can't make progress. This video for you.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Hồng.
I'm Hoàng. We are from class 7A1 at Phong Secondary School, Đắk Lắk Commune, Đắk Minh District, Đắk Nông Province.
We like English and want to improve our communication. This is the reason why we participate in this English speaking contest.
The topic we will present today is good methods to learn English vocabulary.
Hoàng, in the process of learning English, do you have difficulty in learning vocabulary?
Yes, of course. As we all know, learning English is a long process. It requires learners to have a certain vocabulary combined with the practice of each skill. However, for the majority of students learning English, especially the students who do not have the language ability, learning English in general and learning English vocabulary in particular face many difficulties. The most common is the lack of vocabulary needed to learn other language skill well. The issue of how to learn vocabulary effectively is of great interest, and many learning methods are proposed to show effective vocabulary learning. And it is also the reason why we choose the topic Good Methods to Learn English Vocabulary today.
That's right. How to learn good vocabulary? Now, I will say some methods. There are 5 steps in the process of learning English. 1. Have resources to access new vocabulary. 2. Have a clear pictures and sound from the word. 3. Learn the meaning of word. 4. Memorize the form and meaning of word. 5. Follow by word usage. In fact, most students spend most of their time in English in class 45 minutes to study, but the number lesson per week is too small, not to mention the fact that students do not study fully in class. The number of new words will always be assigned at homework, not to mention not learning, but as long as students do not review regularly, after a while, the previously learned vocabulary will melt like a bubble. In addition, most students do not learn vocabulary in the right step, but they are simply stuck with vocabulary. So, Vietnamese student English learning vocabulary never progress. Do you know any specific ineffective learning method that students do use?
Yes, currently the most obvious mistake that I see is still learning English Vietnamese vocabulary. Cramming, studying the meaning of words without paying attention to the context of use or pronunciation. This leads to being spiraled into a loop full of motivation, learning stuffing, and then getting bored because of the small number of words but forgetting it. Finally giving up because the learning methods were not right. So, what should you pay attention to when learning vocabulary?
When you want to learn new word effectively, you need to pay attention to learning by topic. This helps strengthen the memory of the brain, increasing the ability to associate because the words are always in the same topic, easy for memorization. And of course, you need to learn the meaning of the word, the function of the word in sentence, the pronunciation, and importantly, the setting of real example, making English close to everyday life.
As we said above, students almost only learn English in class. But the difficulty is that in school, few teachers teach students about learning methods, but only focus stuffing knowledge. Therefore, we have compiled a few ways of teaching English that every student wants to be done in today's education training environment.
They want to share about good learning methods in school, hope that teachers can accompany them as friends, and expect teachers to apply method, images, and sound lively in English class. But if the method course isn't what you wanted, you can still figure it out on your own. At present, there are many materials and specific learning methods such as spray repetition or flat cat use. We have experienced a very nice method called MyMath using diagram MyMath, and friend Hoàng will introduce to you right now.
Yes, mind map is the flexible use of both left and right hemisphere of the brain to memorize. The left hemisphere remember information, logical data, and the right hemisphere remember vivid images. This method is highly effective compared to traditional methods. First, you will choose a central topic, then draw the main branches, draw more sub-branches, and just make sure the sub-branches is always in the main branches. The way to learn is also very simple. You read through to get an overview from the main branches to sub-branches. A small note is that it needs to be implemented in a scientific way so that there's not rambling situation. You need to set example and review often. So, after a while, you have understood and mastered a large number of words.
Each person will have a different way of learning, but I'm sure this matters is got to try, hard work, and the right way of studying will help you improve your English a lot. Good luck.
You're right. We hope that the method we share both will bring success in your English learning. Thank you for your listening. Goodbye.